But yeah, so I think that's part of the appeal, is that unique among detective stories, you get to actually observe the genius at work.
Yeah.
With a well-done Sherlock.
Everyone wants to be a super genius. So we like watching super geniuses. Yeah, it'd be so fun. Because then you can imagine yourself being intelligent. And that's fun for everybody.
That would be nice, right?
It's a little bit of a stretch for you, but...
Bruh. I am the actual smartest.
Especially in that tone of voice. That really nailed down your point.
Thank you.
Haven't seen violence inherent in the system! Help! Help! I'm being repressed! Bloody peasant! Oh, what a giveaway. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, eh? That's what I'm on about. Did you see him repressing me? You saw it, didn't you?
Welcome to Help, We're being
You sound
repressed.
so alive.
It's morning. Like, what do you expect?
Vivacity.
Vivacity is that a word?
No. Well, vivacious is.
You deserve a podcast.
Yes, this is why I get podcast equipment.
It is a glorious fall morning here.
Nice and damp.
Not morning for you.
It is morning. It's 11:50. I have 10
my gosh,
whole
it is.
more minutes.
I was thinking it was 12. So yeah, you're enjoying your glorious fall morning. I'm enjoying my glorious fall morning.
So much joy.
So much
all
joy.
around. Huzzah.
Mm-hmm. My dog is not dead.
Nailed it. She's trying.
My tortoise probably is.
I think our dog has 9 lives. She might be a secret cat.
Yeah, she's recovering from surgery, but she's flirted with death a number of times. I think she's down to 5 lives.
Did she eat like an entire toy? Or
no, because the problem was when she lost her second life, it was because she ate a stick and got it stuck in the back of her throat.
The first life was when she got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Didn't break any bones.
So the second one was eating the stick and it got stuck in her throat and she stopped eating and started puking up everything, and so she had to get it like removed, and it had been like rotting her mouth.
TMI about a dog.
No, it's fun facts. Everybody loves fun facts.
I don't know how you distinguish those two things.
Penny Beans is resilient.
Penelope Beans.
And so she goes to the vet, they get it removed, and my mom buys toys to cheer up all the sad dogs over this very traumatizing loss of a second life. And she ate a toy on a completely empty stomach because she's been not being able to eat for the last couple days, as we didn't notice there was a stick in her mouth. And so it plugged her intestines.
It was a subtle stick. Like, it's sad,
she had to get surgery to get that removed. And see, one of the problems with the fact that she's just spending lives rather than, being a normal person who has to heal is that she bounces back so fast.
And wants to run around and tear all the staples out of her stomach.
Like, she's just like, why am I being restricted in my playtime?
I want to run through the fields. Like,
I want to fight with my sister. I want to tear open my stomach again, and we're like, chill.
Chill.
And, I'm just assuming that there's at least one more brush with death we don't know about. So I'm assuming we're down to 5 lives for Penny Beans.
She's pretty young to have gone through them that quick.
Yeah, she should pace herself.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's our intro for today.
Yeah, we did a good job.
We nailed it.
Wait, you have to say something.
I'm less sick. My voice occasionally disappears.
That's great.
Still reading Hemingway.
Nothing makes you grateful for the ability to breathe, like more grateful than not being able to breathe for a little bit.
I was like, remember when I could breathe through my nose? Dang.
Good times.
The dream.
Alrighty. So today we
have
elected...
done. Accomplished.
Yeah. Today we have elected to have a discussion about Sherlock Holmes and the variations on said character. Because there are famous detectives, but there's no detective famous like Sherlock.
There's not very many detectives who have inspired as many spin-offs. I don't think there's any detectives that have...
The sheer amount of adaptations.
Yeah.
And the longevity.
There's clearly something about Sherlock Holmes that's stuck in people's consciousness. Mm-hmm. Like, that people really enjoy and like. So we'll think about that.
And from the very start, too. Because it's funny when you have classics where nobody liked him at the time. And now we're all trying to claim that it's amazing. Cough, cough, Moby Dick.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I was thinking of, too.
Yeah, it's like, maybe those people had it right, but...
Okay, Moby Dick is not actually...
I was joking. I was joking.
I mean, I'd cut some of the whale chapters, but...
So there's a lot of classics like that, though, that got acknowledged as classics later on instead of in their own day and age.
Yeah.
But Sherlock was immensely popular from the get-go and has been continuously popular since.
Nonstop.
Mm-hmm. Good old Sir Arthur didn't particularly appreciate it.
No. I doubt
He was
it.
like, I had no idea I was starting such a phenomenon and I'm just tired of it.
I mean, he also was ready to just kill Sherlock off. And then everyone was really mad about that.
And he's like, fine, I'll bring him back unrealistically.
And everyone knows it doesn't make sense because he was supposed to die, but...
Yeah, but we all accept it because we wanted him back.
Exactly. But it's funny because you have, like, some of the particular, I guess, markers of a Sherlock Holmes character. Often...
Yeah, what defines a Sherlock?
I mean, ridiculously high IQ. Mm-hmm. Like, very, very smart, neurotic, obsessive.
Sociopathic.
Sociopathic. That's a big one. And usually they have a Watson.
Mm-hmm. So we got a super genius who's socially stunted.
Yeah.
Almost always an addictive personality.
Oh, yeah.
So obsessive and addictive.
Often on some type
the
of drug.
OG was on opium. A lot of our modern versions were trying to be, tasteful. They're on nicotine.
Yeah,
a couple of Japanese versions are high on sugar.
Cumberbatch.
Which is a weird alternative, but...
Yeah. Cumberbatch is nicotine, right?
patches. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure he... Yeah.
The RDJ one was definitely smoking. Not nicotine. But
not nicotine. Something else. But yeah, you see a ton of things branch off of it. So it's like, why is this popular? And which versions are the best? In our humble opinions.
Yes, in our humble but correct opinions.
Humble but completely objective and right.
Humble but in alignment with objective truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Anywho, so that's kind of defining of a Sherlock. I'm sure there's more that will kind of occur to us as we go on. But
and you can put Sherlock characters in different situations. They don't have to be a detective.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But what about it is appealing? That was appealing then and is appealing now. And I think there's a number of things that are appealing about it. One is it's really cathartic. When you're talking about having a smart guy.
Be rude to everybody.
With no filter.
This
filter. Guy is just going around saying what you wish you could say to other people.
So do you think this is a universal experience when watching a Sherlock character, or is this a unique and special one?
Not everyone likes Sherlock.
True.
I've definitely had a couple people be like, he's just so mean. So those people know.
So the sweet people.
But a lot of the people who do like him do find it cathartic. Because, everybody's interacted with an idiot at least once, because it's statistically likely that there's at least some people dumber than almost every person.
Yeah, unless you are the dumbest
There's only
person
one person in the world who doesn't have someone dumber than them. And every single person in the world dumber than you has been on a group project with you.
Yeah.
So it's like every person has had experiences with having to deal with someone where you are having to follow your moral code and social niceties.
Yeah.
And you can't say that to them. And here we have this character who's smarter than everybody. So everybody's dumb.
Yes.
And he just straight up says that to everybody.
And you're like, nailed it.
And you're like, yeah. So it's very cathartic for most people who try to be, responsible in their own lives and kind in how they talk to people.
I think also we've talked about how we should have main characters that people want to be. And so obviously there's the type of, socially stunted and rude and mean that maybe you should not aspire towards.
Oh, no.
But the intelligence and the observation of the Sherlock character, people love to see because they also like kind of want to be that. I think.
See, that's the second thing I wanted to get on. Where the first is that catharsis.
Yes.
Which you'll get from some other characters, but it's very particular catharsis that is in every single Sherlock.
It's just the enjoyment of like calling everybody stupid who is stupid.
Yes. It's
For
not
Sherlock,
like,
that is
it's not like calling all the
everybody.
nice people stupid. It's just calling all the stupid people stupid. And we're all like, yes, somebody had to do it. Not me, but somebody. But the second one is that kind of wish fulfillment. And I think there's different kinds of wish fulfillment. So we sometimes say wish fulfillment like a bad thing, because sometimes it is a bad thing.
Yeah.
But a common setup that demonstrates the story as wish fulfillment is you have normal person enters extraordinary circumstance. So you're a wizard, Harry. A vampire has fallen in love with you, Bella. Or Peter Pan has come to teach you how to fly and take you to a magical world. Or you found out that you're a demigod. Or like, and
or you
there's all
walk
these
through the back of a wardrobe, you know.
You walk like, and so not some of those are horrible. Not all of them are bad. But all of those follow the same structure of wish fulfillment as I'm ordinary. So you can imagine yourself. You can be like, I'm a Pevensey in my head as a kid. And I have discovered this world, and that totally works.
Yeah.
But then there's a different kind of wish fulfillment, which is just, I kind of wish I was that.
Yes.
But there is no entry point like those other types.
Yeah.
But it's when you follow a character that you admire and you wish you were more like in different ways.
I mean, people watch the shows or like read the books, and I think people immediately start like trying to notice things.
Yep. It is one that has an immediate effect, especially like after Sherlock came out, the Benedict Cumberbatch one.
And
everybody's like
aren't as
trying
smart
to notice
as
everything.
Sherlock, so you
Nope.
notice the wrong things and you're not doing it correctly, but you're still like it
You're
is part of
trying.
the appeal.
It seems fun to be
I
that.
actually think that Sherlock has both types of the wish fulfillment in some ways. However, most people
Watson is.
Yes, I was like,
the
most
other one.
people don't want to picture themselves as Watson, so it's a little less appealing in that way because Watson's usually the dumber character.
Yeah, we're
That's-
Watson.
Yes, we are Watson, but a Watson character is supposed to be like, at least I think in like the British idea of having the detective and then a Watson. Sherlock, or the detective, is smarter than the audience, and then Watson's like a little bit dumber.
Well, that's more the later thing.
Yes, so that's like
where
the later.
Watson's
Yes.
actually dumber than the audience. And the original is more like Watson's dumber than Sherlock, not
Yes.
necessarily than the audience.
However, that's like the classic British
Mm-hmm.
detective type thing.
Because you can't have Watson figuring out the mystery, right?
Yeah, you can't have Watson
he's the narrator.
But it also makes you feel less bad because you're smarter than Watson. Depending on who you are reading the story. But I do think in some of the varieties of Sherlock, Watson is a completely valuable character for people to want to be.
Yeah.
The Watson character is entering the world of, like, it's the extraordinary. So that is an entry point. And some people could want, like, imagine if you were friends with that person.
Yeah.
But I do think the main appeal is towards wanting to be more like Sherlock.
Well, yeah, because obviously you don't want to be addictive and emotionally stunted, but the being highly observant and highly intelligent, but especially that kind of cannot be deceived thing is really appealing to, because a lot of people are deceived all the time. And the feeling of like, what if I could just understand everything that was going on all the time?
Except for human emotions. He's not very good at that.
No, but we're not thinking about that. It's very much just the like, why, like if I could understand all of these things.
Yeah, so
That
I
would
think
be super cool.
there's catharsis, there's wish fulfillment. Other aspects of Sherlock.
The other thing is, I think that it's really fun to go along for the ride in a mastermind's head,
Oh, yeah.
especially a well-written one.
That is the difficulty, though, of
Because-
writing geniuses, is most people aren't geniuses. And so they try to write
which is
a
why
genius.
there are some sucky versions of Sherlock. as well
Yeah.
as some other mastermind type characters.
Because you try to
Because
write
the
someone...
author wasn't.
Yes, you try to write someone super intelligent, and it's just shallow, and it does not hit. And it's like, yeah, that's not a smart person, because dumb people can't really write smart people, because there has to be substance behind the mind. You can't have just the, look, I put all these things together, here's the grand reveal.
And we all go like shady.
And you don't need to be as smart as Sherlock to be able to write a good
No, because
Sherlock
here's
character.
the thing. You don't have to figure out things like Sherlock does.
No, you
Sherlock steps
created
in the
it.
moment and goes like, whoa, you are manufacturing it and you have as much time as you need.
Yes.
So it's not like a genius. It takes a genius to write a genius, but it does take a smart person.
It does take some level of IQ.
But yes, I think one thing but this is more unique to Sherlock than some other detectives, is the fact that you're along for the ride in a different way.
Yeah.
A lot of Sherlock versions take you with Sherlock, and you're getting to hear everything. And he does the whole like elementary, my dear Watson, let me tell you what's going on. And there's some short stories where he's much, much less explainy, but there's a lot of stories and different versions where you get to be in the passenger seat the whole time,
Yes.
which a lot of other detective stories don't do that for you.
No, it
Because
depends.
it's a puzzle, the ones that are more puzzly, where the detective is here going like collecting information, and you get to be in Watson or Watson version's head, and you're trying to figure it out too, but
Yes,
you don't get to backseat for the genius.
Yes, if you do like read Agatha Christie's and that type of thing, which I enjoy, you get her detective Hercule. Some people say Hercules, but I say Hercule.
Hercule.
Yeah, and he never likes revealing anything until the very end of the book. So
Which
it's
is a common
it's
setup.
very much it's very much the puzzle type where it's like, here's the situation, you have to notice the things, he has to notice the things. And sometimes they're noticeable, and sometimes it's like, look at these grand reveal at the end, and you're like,
And you're like, you didn't even tell me that.
no shot. Like, that was never there. But they're often fun, but it is that puzzle type. You are not in his head at all, like throughout it until the end. And when he's talking and saying things, it's not actually clear what he's talking about. Versus the Sherlock character, where there's lots of different types of detective stories, but the Sherlock character definitely is, you're watching, you're there, you're present with his
It's
mind.
less you solve
And
it and more
it's
watch
actually-
Sherlock solve it.
Exactly. And he's also arrogant, so he likes like flexing.
Yeah.
So he likes saying when he notices things, he likes saying them aloud and like, so it matches his character to also be explaining the entire way. It's also different than
'Cause he's
other
showing
types
off.
of detective stories where it's like P.D. James or something, which is a more realistic, gritty type story where she bounces from different perspectives, so you're not always with the detective. Mm-hmm. I think when it comes to Sherlock stories, you are often, there's exceptions, but for most of it, you are with him. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
so I think that's part of the appeal, is that unique among detective stories, you get to actually observe the genius at work
yeah,
with a well-done Sherlock.
yeah.
But
I think, so what do you think examples of Sherlock stories are? Because there's obviously OG. If you've
Yeah.
read them, they're fun. Some of them.
they're definitely, old. So I'm just saying, like, they're
gonna hate old literature.
yeah,
Terrible.
No, it's
Don't
just that
read
you have
classics,
to.
everybody.
Well, it's just you have to keep in mind that old popcorn doesn't read the same as modern popcorn.
It also was revolutionary in a type of way that we don't process.
Yeah.
So we would read it, and sometimes this is when you read things that start trends. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel original. It feels like basic and sometimes stereotypical, and you're like, yeah, we know.
And sometimes
like-
even sloppier.
And sometimes even sloppier. But then you have to think about it and you realize the context, and you're like, so this was new.
Yeah, like
Like, this
reading
was-
Don Quixote.
Yeah, you're like, okay, so this was actually...
You're like, why is it so long? And why is it so weird? And why that? I'm like, first novel ever.
Well, that's debatable, but...
Yeah, I know. There's a couple that were cut, but one of the first novels
One
ever.
of, yes. But it's a similar type thing where you look at it and it's just...
Look at it for what it is.
Yeah, and I think they're still fun.
Yeah.
Some of-
No, like I enjoy them. But I'm just saying that you have to go to it knowing what it is. Because
We're
one
just
thing that can
also-
really wreck your experience of any story is going into a story expecting it to be something it's not.
I mean, sometimes it can be a pleasant surprise, but
Yeah,
if you
but
really
expecting
want
it
something,
like eagerly to be
Yes.
something. Like if you were like, I'm a huge fan of the Benedict Cumberbatch.
and then you read
Like
the old Sherlock
huge
Holmes,
fan. And you read the old one being like so excited for like Benedict Cumberbatch on paper.
and you're like, no.
And you're like, why is it like this?
It's like, why? Don't go into it expecting Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, no, like it's really worth it. They're really fun. But you do have to always keep in mind when, like you said, it's a first of a kind. It's a breakthrough. It's an original.
Yeah. And it had some really good things that lasted for
Yeah.
A
If you
while.
read it and see like tropes and stereotypes, no, you didn't. Those were the original.
It's like, well, it's a trope now. Wait, but then
Because
you
he
look
made
at
it
the
one.
shows and stuff that come off of it, and obviously we've mentioned the Benedict Cumberbatch version. I enjoyed a lot of that. I don't know when I
It
stopped
started
liking it.
strong.
It started strong, definitely fell off,
Well,
but
you can always tell when people kind of lose track of their own characters.
yeah,
But it's still worth watching some of. We did have filters for the occasional episode.
yeah,
Uh,
as we usually
But-
do. So when we make recommends,
yeah, always
There's a
check
footnote.
filters, especially if you've got children's. But
Mm-hmm.
where it is, it's genuinely a fun one. Where I think Benedict Cumberbatch did a really good job
oh, he's a great actor.
acting
yeah.
Sherlock. Like, great job. And the other thing that I want to give that show props for is it is my favorite Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Watson can be a hard character to get right. Because some versions kind of fall into the later Watson trope, which is that Watson is really more of a prop
Yeah,
than a person.
it's a prop for the audience.
Like, even the RDJ ones, which I enjoyed the RDJ ones, the Watson is, like, pretty flat for the most part.
Yeah,
No hate on Jude Law, but
but just a little.
there are
hate.
definitely some Watsons. I'm trying to think of an example. I feel like if I've seen bad Sherlocks, I kind of just go like,
Wait,
chuck
this
it.
isn't a Sherlock. I mean, it's Agatha Christie again. Her narrator is often Hercule's friend, who's the dumb
It's
one.
just like,
And he has personality, he has character, but often he's just the one that doesn't understand the entire
like
time.
what does, because here's the thing. When you're doing the Watson character as a friend, which
Yeah,
is
it's
a
like,
common thing.
The real question
I'm like,
in that one
hold
is
up.
why are you friends?
Why are they friends?
Yes.
What is this relationship? Why do they need to be friends? Because when you're writing characters, you're not supposed to just have stand-in friends.
Yes.
So one of the things that Sherlock did, the show, with Watson was they made him an actual compelling character who was dumber than Sherlock and still valuable, and the friendship made sense.
Dumber IQ wise.
Yeah, where he had his own strengths. And they had genuine banter where you were like, yep, those are friends.
Yes, it felt like a friendship versus sometimes Hercule and the narrator. It's like, what do you even like about each other? Why are you here? Why does he think you're valuable to have around? Otherwise, for Hercule,
Does
it
the
sometimes
narrator
feels
even
like,
make it into the movies?
No. But he's not in all of the books.
Okay.
But he often is. And I don't remember his name, but he has a name.
Like, Loki don't care. Okay.
But he's just there for Hercule to explain what's happening. That's it.
Yeah. At the end, not throughout.
Well, to tease throughout, to be like, wow, you're stupid. Like, use your eyes.
And we're like,
I don't get it either.
but yeah, so the BBC Sherlock did a really good job making the friendship actually organic and convincing. And you like Watson, and Watson does bring something to the table. For one, Army Doctor.
Sherlock needs Watson.
Yes, Army Doctor, who's a lot more socially adept. And is kind of a different type of pragmatism in Sherlock's life, too.
Yeah.
Where Sherlock is the, like, forgets to eat for 3 days kind of person. So having a
Can't
more
imagine.
pragmatic, like, because the fact that both Sherlock and Watson in that one can call each other idiot is great.
Yes.
Because Sherlock is like, you imbecile. Like, you're so simple. Imagine being in your mind. It would be so
Imagine not
peaceful.
being able to think.
And Watson is like, you absolute imbecile. How do you forget such fundamental basic things?
Yes, so they actually complement each other in a good way.
But I definitely think the show lost track of their own characters.
Yeah, it also just dragged on.
Yeah, well, they dragged it on.
Which is what happens with most shows, is you want to continue it, you want to make more money, and so you don't end it.
But they also just didn't do very well with After Sherlock Returned from the Dead.
No.
They made Mary some sort of, like, super fighter.
Yeah.
Like, oh, turns out she has a secret identity. That wasn't interesting at all and actually made her character less compelling.
She's the
But yeah,
girl.
they just had Sherlock be way more emotional later in a way that wasn't his original temperament. And I'm not saying you can't be influenced by your friendships in different emotional ways, but just like, why is he now just like a totally different person? And then Watson got filled with all sorts of like insane bitterness and rage at Sherlock. I'm like, that's your best and kind of only friend.
Yeah.
So I understand that, like, but I just didn't need the melodrama in my life, so we stopped.
Yeah, the melodrama just increased. And you're like, yeah, some of the earlier parts where it was banter between friends, detective story, like, it was just fun. I think actually often where a lot of Sherlock stories fail is when you get into the Moriarty plot. Mm-hmm. And I think that I like the idea of Moriarty. Mm-hmm. I think it's fun because then you have a contrast with Sherlock where you're like, okay, so if there was... This was another idea that I don't know if it's like super original when Doyle did it. But it's like, you have the super high IQ crazy detective guy. What if we just had the same thing, but the villain?
Yeah, the foil.
The foil. Like, I mean, it's not maybe
it wasn't a huge leap of logic.
But it's fun.
But that's another prop that you can give the BBC Sherlock, is that was a good Moriarty.
No, Moriarty was great. However, I do think the Moriarty is difficult to do. Mm-hmm. Because you have to make it very reasonable that he's obsessed with Sherlock. Mm-hmm. In some ways. And, like, why are their paths interlapping? If that makes sense. I also just think it's a difficult...
And it made a lot of sense in...
It's a difficult character to make two unique geniuses.
Yeah.
When a genius is often a type.
Well, see, that was a BBC Sherlock thing was... They had already had kind of Watson influence Sherlock a good deal, which is great. So that's kind of where you made two actually very similar geniuses if you took Sherlock before Watson.
Yeah, okay.
Where both of them are super geniuses. Both of them are super bored. Both of them are doing their respective things for entertainment.
Yes.
And for stimulation. But the difference was Watson.
Yes.
Where Sherlock was starting to learn to value people in a more genuine way.
I do think
Moriarty, part of the obsession was he found Sherlock and was like, ooh, genius to play against. We could play chess in this, high stakes version.
Yes.
And then just was full of frustration by the fact that Sherlock seemed to have some sort of more grounding in reality.
Yeah, I do think
and it's
that's
like, what do you mean you have sympathy or things like that?
Well, I think that's an important part of the Sherlock and Moriarty dynamic is the fact that they're both doing what they do for fun. Like, to a certain extent, like they're both bored. Yeah. They're both doing it for fun. And you have to make a real distinction between the two people. Because if you look at that and it's like, okay, well, you're doing this for fun. He's doing that for fun. Can you really say you're morally superior? It's like, yes, because actions do matter.
Actions matter.
It turns out.
But it is nice to have that
as an
progression of
person.
Sherlock.
Yes.
Where it's he would not, even if he's doing it for fun, he would not do the opposite for fun.
But I do
think what you want.
I do think the Moriarty character is difficult to write and make compelling.
Yeah, it's sometimes difficult to
supervillains
write.
Often are.
Yeah, we've talked about villains, and it's sometimes hard to write the pure evil.
Yes.
Just because it's hard to make it not cardboard cutout-y.
Yes.
It's like, how do you make it rounded when it's just completely bad?
Yeah, right. It's
I gotta say, Moriarty line that I really like from that one, see if I can get it right, is the he who holds information is king, and you should see me in a crown. And
I do.
Nice.
I do think the Moriarty is good in the BBC version. Another thing that is funny that people always try to include is the death of Sherlock, the death and resurrection, because that's what
I mean, like,
Doyle did. However, it's kind of funny to me because I don't think it's necessary.
because it almost never works because it wasn't
doesn't
supposed to work.
Because it wasn't supposed to be the case. So people, I mean, they want to be true.
Yeah,
some
they're like,
extent.
we're writing the original Sherlock adapted. I'm like, scrap the part that was a little
like,
blip of him trying to quit.
Like, he just wanted to be done there. Just cut that
Yeah,
out.
it doesn't work.
It usually is just completely wrong.
It doesn't normally make very much sense.
It's just thrown in to be like, here's a hat tip to when
Should we
Doyle
move to
wanted to give up.
the RDJ one.
Sure, go for it.
RDJ was a completely different tone
Oh, completely
than
different.
Cumberbatch, but it was definitely fun.
Yeah.
It'd be like, he was so much more frazzled. It was kind of funny because
They both were
Cumberbatch,
frazzled, different
yeah, no,
ways.
but Cumberbatch was very like, very
Like you do.
He would
You and your
he would be a
podcast.
spaz, but he liked to be. He leaned into that kind of sociopathic, acting cold to people a lot of the time.
Yeah, versus just the obsessive neurotic.
Versus, the just not trying to be cold to other people, just not paying attention to other people.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, you don't understand. If I play this note, the bugs move in a certain way. And Watson's like, how long have you been awake and what are you on?
Both valid questions at that point.
But
I think I've seen
so
the 2 movies.
Yeah.
Are there 3?
I don't know. There was supposed to be a third, pretty sure, but I don't know that there is.
I
don't
think
remember.
there is, but I have
Maybe.
not seen it. So
Well, he did the die thing at the end of the second. Where he, like, dies. Do you remember that? He jumps off the cliff with Moriarty. That I didn't like. I didn't like that
well, that's
version of
what-
Moriarty. When you're
I
talking
don't
about
remember that.
difficult, well, no, he's the one with the beard. I mean,
he just
obviously
felt
Moriarty's.
wrong.
Yeah, it just was like, It feels like kind of a shady politician that's just playing supervillain.
Yeah, it wasn't convincing.
It wasn't very convincing when he's like, "Mwah, ha ha ha." I'm like, meh.
Yeah, but I like the RDJ version of Sherlock.
Yeah, that's the fun thing is I do think you can do different takes on Sherlock where not every version of Sherlock looks the same, which is why you can enjoy consuming a number of different versions.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about caricatures before where you have to exaggerate the correct thing. And Sherlock does have different characteristics, so you can, pick and choose which
play
to
into.
exaggerate, and it's still a Sherlock character if it originated in, Sherlock.
That was the other thing was that RDJ preserved Sherlock actually like fisticuffs,
Yes.
which Cumberbatch didn't really.
Yeah.
So that also created a different tone because someone who's like the super genius thinker is a little different than the super genius throwing hands.
Different vibe, for sure.
But it's also a different tone in the way Sherlock chases stimulation.
Yeah.
Is kind of chasing pain is a different one. Very different feel.
Yeah, but I think both are worth
Both are
watching
solid.
up to a certain extent. Like, I don't know when we quit the show, but it was fun until we quit.
It was fun until it wasn't. So once it stops being fun, you can stop.
You can stop there. Discover for yourselves when that moment is, because I don't remember.
But yeah, so I feel like RDJ's was fun, and I think it felt a little more fantastical.
Oh yeah,
because of
definitely. It wasn't
the villains.
It did not feel very realistic.
It's like, wow, realism. No,
No,
our first opponent was this like cultic magician.
Yeah.
And our second was evil villain politician professor.
Yeah.
But
So not wildly convincing. Those were definitely kind of popcorn,
but both were fun.
but both were enjoyable. Would not forbade anyone from watching
And you've been
them.
watching a bit of House recently, haven't you?
Yeah, and House is a fun character.
Yeah,
'cause he's
House is the
Sherlock
example
character.
of taking a Sherlock character and putting him in a different setting.
Yes, and he has like kind of multiple Watsons, where it's the doctors who work for him.
All the Watsons that are like, dude, what are you doing?
Most of the time, what he's doing is crazy. It's intense. But I think one of the
In violation to all sorts of rules.
yes, that's one of his biggest qualities. But he's rude to everyone. So as you said, cathartic, because some people are stupid. Where you
And
see
yeah,
him,
off of my experience with doctors, I don't mind some doctors being called idiots.
yeah, but he also just, I mean, he does it to patients too, where he just says aloud.
Who
everyone
also
knows.
deserve it.
Where they're sitting there like, oh, I can't have that though. Can you give me, like, I don't want that. Can you give me something else? And then he's like, well, this. They're like, ooh, steroids? No, give me something else. And he's like, how many medicines do we want me to rattle through before you want to pick and choose which one you want? But he's very smart, very rude to everybody. You could call him sociopathic, but I don't think he really is. Like, he's a very...
Yeah, that's another thing that I think different versions of Sherlock play off of is how
Yes.
extremely sociopathic they are
It's-
versus just mean
Yeah, it's also just the question of...
or logical.
Yes, whether they are. He's extremely logical and, wants to be
And
rational
impatient.
and objective and impatient. Yes, he's very impatient, which is a Sherlock quality. But you also see flashes of like, okay, so does he actually really care? And that's a question kind of throughout the show. But he's a fun...
Secretly cares.
Yeah, he denies it. But part of it is he wants a puzzle. And that's very much the Sherlock aspect, where he wants an interesting case. So he doesn't want to help anyone. And then they're like, but this is happening. And he's like, well, that's weird. Let's figure that out.
Yeah, everybody's like, can you just do your job? And he's like, only if it's fun.
Only if it's fascinating.
And everybody's
if
like,
there's-
why'd you pick up a doctor, dude?
To solve bizarre problems. But he's a very fun character.
So
I've
yeah,
only
I feel
seen
like
the first season.
we could
so
do that more. Is, you know,
Yeah.
taking classical characters and
Put them
putting
in different situations.
Put them in different situations.
Make
It's kind
him
of a
not
fun
a
writing
detective.
prompt.
Make him a doctor. I don't know what else you could make him.
There are other things, I'm sure.
Yeah, no. But you have to think about it. Like a doctor and a detective.
He would be a horrible politician.
Yeah, but I'm like, a doctor and a detective are similar in the ways that they're solving problems. Where there's a question placed in front of them, there's all the clues. So it's like you're putting these things together. I think you could probably do that at some level with lawyers.
You could do a Sherlock type
You could do
lawyer.
a Sherlock type lawyer. Might
Honestly,
be more
Harvey
difficult.
Specter sometimes gives a little version of Sherlock.
Not really. No, I don't think
No,
so.
just, I mean, in the fact of the cathartic lack of filter and the hyper intelligence and the arrogance.
Yes,
and, like,
however, he just
he's
wants to
missing
win.
he's missing some important qualities.
I would not
But
call
he
him
can.
one.
I was just saying that he gives some of the same catharsis
Sure.
because I mean, Suits also gets dramatic, but it does that
So
similar thing
melodramatic.
with having genius characters
Yes.
who are also rude all the time. But
Yeah, we
definitely
like the
not.
genius.
They're not the Sherlock type, but they're a similar vibe
Yeah.
in the super geniuses playing
And
around, being rude
everyone
to
wants
everybody.
to be a super genius. So we like
Yeah, it'd
watching
be
super
so
geniuses.
fun.
Because then you can imagine yourself being intelligent. And that's fun for
That
everybody.
would be nice, right? Imagine being smart.
Crazy. It's a little bit of a
If we
stretch for
wanna-
you, but
Bruh. I am the actual smartest.
especially
Yeah.
in that tone of voice, that really nailed down your point.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Bad example. Do you want to hear a bad example?
Enola
Holmes.
Hated that.
See, this one is just,
I'm going to have a
don't
cough
get me
drop.
wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Ricola, I should be sponsored. they taste lemon mint, sugar free. They taste great, but they do not work.
You should definitely be sponsored.
I still can't breathe after I have it, but it tastes like a lemon drop. So
So you
here
just
we
eating
are.
them. The thing is, Enola Holmes. Do I have beef with the female genius character? No, I don't. Give me a female Sherlock adaptation. Like,
Girls can be smart too.
I'm just saying you can do the thing with House, where you go into another context and you bring the Sherlock character trope, and give me a girl one. I would be so fine with that.
Even if it's okay.
If it was well done, I would be so fine with that. What do you got on your mind? It sounds rude.
Statistically, it's less likely. It doesn't mean it's impossible. There are female geniuses.
But I mean, I will say the Sherlock characters are exception people.
Yes, but guys
Period.
can be more extreme.
Yeah, you get the dumbest people and
So it's
some
like
of the
the
smartest
stupidest people in the world are probably dudes, but also the smartest. Girls
But yeah,
tend
like
to
I said, the
group more
Sherlock,
centrally.
the whole premise of Sherlock is you already got kind of an exception person.
So the girl
And you
still
could
works.
you could get yourself the girl one. So I'm like, I'd be totally cool with a well done kind of female take on Sherlock, and you would have to, adapt it to be genuinely female.
Yeah.
But what I didn't like was going to the same world as Sherlock, giving him a little sister, and then putting them in competition.
And it was feminist.
Yeah, but they made Sherlock so boring in order to have, like, Enola kind of show him up a couple times and be in competition with him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't want them competing. If you say they're not competing, yeah, they are. It's a direct comparison.
She also just
But
wasn't
it's
that
just like,
smart. It
it's
was
just, to be fair, I only watched the first movie. She wasn't very smart at all. So she wasn't even a genius character. So I'm just like, why are we doing this? Like, why is she
Also,
Holmes exactly?
If I remember correctly, is her name backwards?
Yeah,
Like,
backwards of alone, which is deep and should make you feel things.
that's so stupid.
Her mom was Evil Knievel. And they tried to build a little sympathy. I'm like, Evil Knievel. Also, she rejected her
remember her
boy
mom.
at the end. She was like, feminist terrorist. She was literally
yeah.
a feminist terrorist who abandoned her child.
I'm not for terrorists,
And then
personally.
she rejected her boy to be like, I gotta make something out of myself yet. I'm like, with a cushion of marrying a noble behind you. But yeah, I just don't get why we had to do it in the same world. Being like, we're adding another Holmes to make, this is fun. It wasn't fun.
I'm sure it was supposed to be funny.
Yeah, it wasn't like a super self-serious thing or anything. I just didn't find it fun at all.
It just was not really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Are there other examples that we're forgetting? There's tons.
The Great Mouse Detective. That is
I don't
excellent.
really remember that, but it was great.
I remember the, bat posing as a baby. Was that a bat? That was creepy. But I enjoyed The Great Mouse Detective as a kid.
I think I liked it as a kid. I don't really remember it, but I think I remember liking it. Maybe that's why I started liking detectives. Unlike you.
I like detectives.
Occasionally.
I like Sherlock Holmes, and I like Philip Marlowe. And
Philip
I'm
Marlowe's
offended.
great.
I'm offended that they made a Philip Marlowe movie and cast Liam Neeson. Because
Isn't
that
he supposed
man
to be American?
is Irish. And he didn't even do an American accent, which he can do. They had him acting Philip Marlowe, who is the American detective. That's another one that if you go back, like if you like the gritty detective thing, where you go back to Philip Marlowe and you go like, there are all these tropes and stereotypes. No, there aren't. Those are the OG.
Like the Maltese Falcon is that's not Philip Marlowe, but it's the same era.
Yeah.
It's when it was like the American detective was kind of
Was being born.
starting. The American detective is great.
He's excellent. But Philip Marlowe is the American detective. Like gritty Hollywood private eye. And he's supposed to be this like lean, smoking American type. And you did Liam Neeson, who's not like small and lean. And
He's supposed to be like 6
is
foot.
very old. Well, he's supposed to be like wiry.
Okay, yeah.
He's supposed to be wiry.
It's been a
And
bit since I read one of the
Liam
books, so-
Neeson is old. Marlowe is not old. And Liam Neeson is Irish. Marlowe is not Irish. So I'm just like, people talk about like swapping race or what, like swapping ethnicities with retellings. Sometimes being like arguing over, but does it really change the character?
Yes, sometimes.
And one of the things I heard in
Not
response
always.
to when people were fighting over like Little Mermaid, and people are like, actually making her black doesn't change anything because it's a freaking mermaid and her skin color has nothing to do with the story. And then some other people would be like, how would you feel if we race swap Tiana? And people are like, that does matter for the story.
I mean, you can make her white trash.
No, but it is fair that it's like, okay, I don't like thoughtless race swapping. Just make original characters. It's superior. But it is true that, like, Tiana is someone where I'm like, actually, who she is very relevant to the story. And it's the same thing with Philip Marlowe, where it's like, actually, a race swap would have changed less than making him a different country.
Yeah, no, he could have been a black detective.
Yeah, as long as he's American, because American is like one of the most defining
he is
traits.
The American detective. Like, it's very strange to make him a different.
To make him Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was a little sad when I saw that. I'm like, I wanted a Philip Marlowe movie, and I get this like
even if
big 70-year-old Irish man. I have no idea
just
how old he is.
Give him
He's
an
so
American
old.
accent.
But he's so old too.
Yeah. I haven't seen
Marlowe's
it, so.
not old. I watched the trailer.
You made it so far.
Yeah. Well, it was named Marlowe. I'm like. But yeah, I definitely am a fan of the Sherlock stories, at least, you know, the good ones.
Yeah.
The occasional other detective as well.
There's just so many of them that there's bound to be lots of bad ones.
Yeah, we didn't mention a lot of Sherlock adaptations.
We mentioned like 3, so we...
Yeah, and they're very popular, but the thing is, we mentioned the popular ones because the popular ones are good.
Such better.
Well, fun, you know.
Yeah.
You got anything to add on Sherlock Holmes?
Well, when it comes to the race swapping thing, I think I agree that it doesn't, like, even for, like, My Little Mermaid or whatever, like, it's not actually a massive deal if you, like, if you did an audition and she was the best.
An open audition.
Like, shoot, go for it. It's just the fact that it was a conscious decision made. You don't get it.
I don't like the trend of blackwashing instead of making original black characters.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so here's the reality.
But
it's
that
like,
particular example is it doesn't matter.
Yes, I'm like, if you say the race doesn't matter, then why did you bother to change the race? Mm-hmm. And sometimes, sure, if she was the best actress, go for it. But I don't think that's usually the reason.
That wasn't the case. It's a much broader thing.
Yes. Well, it's happened so many times that's like,
so many times that everybody's like, what are you talking about? What are you like? It doesn't even matter. What are you like? Why are you even noticing? Are you racist? And I'm like,
no, I'm just not blind.
But I actually do think I could see a pretty good Black Marlowe, though.
Yeah, that could be a vibe.
That could be a vibe. It's just as long as he's frickin' American.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
What is it? Xenophobic? We're not racist.
we're not racist. We're xenophobic. No.
We're not.
Just a little bit.
No, we're not. We just want the characters to be
We just want the
aligned
characters
with
to
who
be
they are.
true to their... Yeah, true to the character. But, yeah. Do you want to throw any other detective recommends on here before we hop off? Because we've said we like the different Sherlocks. We've said we like Marlowe.
Yeah.
So the Raymond Chandler books about Philip Marlowe,
Raymond
like
Chandler
The Long Goodbye,
is great.
The Maltese Falcon.
Maltese Falcon is very fun. Agatha Christie, even if I was kind of fussing about her Watson character, it's still fun. I mean, it's... A lot of them are funny. Josephine Tey has some good books. There's some Maisie Dobbs books. I don't remember the author's name. Authoress, I guess. But those are fun. It's like a female detective, so...
Yeah, a fun female detective. It's possible.
It's possible. P.D. James has
Just
some
don't
good books.
make her Sherlock Holmes' little sister. Okay, yeah.
P.D. James has some good books, but she also has some really abysmal ones. So I would...
So tread carefully.
do not read Innocent Blood. That's the one I would say.
Okay, give a couple positive recommends there.
That's what I'm trying to remember.
A Certain
names
Truth or something? Is that one? I feel like that came to me for some reason. The one that I started...
Didn't finish.
It had a red cover.
I know
it
which
was
one
a
you're talking about.
Doglish.
See, all of the names
A Certain
kind of blend.
Justice? I don't know.
Yes, I like the Doglish books.
What was it called? It was one about the judge dying.
I don't remember. The Doglish stories can be good. They are a little more intense. She's a really good female writer. but they are darker. So I would not make them your main diet of media. But
Read exclusively P.D. James.
Yeah, I'll give you a list of like the darkest books I can find. I'm like, read P.D. James, read Cormac McCarthy, get into some nice Hemingway. Just my diet of books currently.
And then throwing some Terry Pratchett.
For taking classes. Terry Pratchett, also detective.
Hey, there are some Detective Terry Pratchett's.
Yeah.
Look at Feet of Clay.
Feet of Clay is awesome.
Thud.
Feet of Clay and Thud.
Those are part of the Watch series.
Terry Pratchett's just really good, except for like 3 books.
Have we talked enough about Terry Pratchett?
No, never.
Never.
I think that was enough talking. I think we did great. Nailed it.
I think we talked perfectly.
No flaws. No notes.
We're so good at talking.
Impeccable podcasting.
Impeccable. I love
Which
that
is
word.
why we're going to stop now before we screw it up more.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Peace.